Happy Thursday. We're back. Let's go see where we left off last night, folks. Yeah, everything looks good. Here's what happened last night. I encountered a task force of warships, and I sank one of the destroyers, and I sank the Issei battleship. 33,800 tonner. That was a big kill. And it had just gotten too late. It was time for me to go to bed, so that's what I did. I did the save game. They're located roughly in this area here right now. This line that you see here is their projected plot line. That's where I think they are. It's 0432 hours. It's darkness outside, but it will get light soon. So I'm going to parallel their course outside of this radius of 10 nautical miles. So you can see here I've plotted a course alongside. And what I'm going to try to do is get to somewhere between these two islands and set up for another attack. And it's going to be tricky because even though I've killed one destroyer, there's 8 left. I mean, it's a task force. There's a bunch of cruisers. There was that battleship. I'm not quite sure what else is there. There weren't any carriers, unfortunately. The Yamato is not there. I did sink the Yamato at one point in my career a few odd war patrols ago. So we're going to go to time compression because I've got this all in place. And just boogie along. Go. Crap. It was following my plotted course when I saved the game, but it's not following it now. So let's fix that. Okay, so the seas are really super rough. And I've got a lot of fuel. Well, I should let this thing charge. I have it set up not to charge at the moment. No, I'm going to keep all the engine power going to the screws. In fact, let's open up to flank speed and see if we can plow through these waves any better than this. I'm going to turn on the radar for a little bit just to plot their location, so I have yet to catch up to them. There's that task force. There's one big daddy of a ship there. You see how it's a bigger square? So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 5, 6, and 7. These are probably all destroyer screen. And one thing that I've got to do is turn off the radar. At a certain point, they'll realize they're being plotted by non-Japanese radar, and they'll react to that. So let's use time compression. Oh my goodness. An enemy convoy is dead ahead of me. So that's kind of a quandary. To keep from being spotted by that group, I'm going to have to get, I don't know, I could probably risk 7.5 nautical miles. They're on a course about like this. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. The sea state is just absolutely awful right now. There's absolutely no way to conduct a submerged torpedo attack in this weather. Yes, it's not thunderstorming or anything, but the waves are too big, and it's going to constantly wash over my periscope. I mean, look how big the waves are. Normally when you look at the waves, you might see some little ripples out there, but, you know, even in this view, there are huge waves out there. Even on the surface, you can't see past them half the time. So what I'm going to do is, once I get close enough to be detected by these guys, I'm going to just submerge and get past them underwater and then let them go by me, and then I'm going to resurface and I'm going to continue to shadow that task force. They're on their way to the Celebes, or the Celebes, as I like to call it. And I don't know where they're going to turn from there. Probably to the east, I'd imagine, towards the Palau Islands, maybe towards Mindanao. So this is just basically an obstacle. This is definitely an obstacle. So let's go back to time compression. We'll wait till we're at risk of being spotted. I'm already getting sound contact from them, I believe. Yeah, I am. Good grief. What a nuisance. You know, the worst part, if it were glassy seas and I had a reasonable chance of success, I would conduct an attack against this this convoy, because there's probably a lot of ships there. In fact, I'll turn on the radar and let's go plot them. Let's see what they got. Right. Okay, so... God, and they're going slow to make things worse. Let's turn to the east. I'm already at flank speed. I'm actually seeing both of these convoys. There's a task force over here, and then there's this convoy there. This just utterly sucks. Alright, I'll turn off the radar because it keeps canceling my time compression because it sweeps so slow that it goes around and redetects the same ships, and then it takes you out of time compression when that happens. Okay, at this point, let's turn to the right and head southeast. What do I hear going on Chief's stream? I'm watching Chief's Voyage while gaming tonight. You know what? I want to turn off a light. Hang on a second. There we go. I had to reach and turn off a light. It's gonna get rowdy. Chief's Voyage. He's at Talladega, and he's camping there to go watch the race this weekend. I think I'm making it around him. I'm going to turn on the radar again. I want to make sure that the perimeter destroyer, if you want to call it that. Oh, he's tight. Sometimes he comes out just at random. He's starting to do it now. I'm under time compression, so you're just kind of seeing little blips of him. Alright, he's gone back. He's turned to go back. So come out of time compression long enough for me to type this command, or click it, I should say. We'll erase these little doodles. And let's try to plot my way through here. What I'm surprised is that there aren't any planes. So there's this little flotilla. I'm starting to work my way past them. I'll keep a close eye on them here. These three are suspicious to the east. Are they coming after me? I can't tell if they're in a search pattern or if my radar has triggered a response. It's 0900 hours. Okay, so I'm finally starting to make it past these guys at flank speed. They're doing probably 11 or 12 knots, and I'm doing maybe 18, 17 or 18. Oh, planes just went by up here. Okay, what I'm going to do now, so I'm going to correct the plot. So that it's more accurate with their basic position. I'm going to relocate this little marker. I could just delete and redraw it, but it's just, I don't know. I like keeping things tidy. Let's check the sea state. Still too rough for an attack. And then there's seagulls. In the real war, the seagulls were kind of a problem. If the enemy could spot the seagulls will circle your vessel. So that's kind of a giveaway. But anyway, I think I'm looking good here. Getting out in front of them. Once I get past these shallow waters, which for example, they're 676 feet, this is dark enough to be deep enough for me to dive to pretty close to max depth there. I don't think you can go down to 600 feet with these. Well, you could in the real war. Late war Balaos had pretty thick skin and they could go deep. Yeah. Let's go back to time compression. What I'm really waiting for, more than trying to get into a good firing position, is I'm waiting for the weather to break. And this weather's just been absolutely horrendous, so I'm going to slow to 2/3 speed.
Yes, sir.
And I'll watch that formation from about this zoom level would be fine. See, I'm making 9 knots, so they're catching up to me at about 2 to 3 knots. So I'll go up to standard speed, which should more closely match what they're doing. I just kind of want to lead them until we get somewhere where the ocean is more calm. I'm going to stalk them, is really what it comes down to. But I'm also going to transmit a position report to let the Allies know where they're at. And I've never seen an Allied task force show up to engage them. I'd love to see that happen, though. I played this game 17 years ago when it was new for several years, and just loved it. It's such a fun game. I still love the game. And let me correct the plot. Back to time compression. But I do a lot of streaming of iRacing. I do spotter crew chief work. I build setups for the NASCAR iRacing series open so people can race that car. Let's do this. Oh, I hear myself, probably because Chief is listening. Is that you listening to me, Chief? Yeah, Chief's listening. What's up, Chief? So, Chief, they're getting rowdy next to you there, man. I hope you can get some sleep tonight. Yeah, it's gonna get rowdy. So let me plot inboard a little bit. And I'm just going to kind of stay out ahead of them, is what my plan is now. This formation here. I'll keep the radar on. Maybe I'll speed up to full, kind of closing in. They're catching up to me. Using time compression. Hey, gamer kid, what's happening? God, I cannot believe... Sometimes ECs will stay rough all day, but you might otherwise have to go to a different area. Which, these guys are on the move. Gosh. Okay, well, let's just stick to the plan. And I hate it that it cancels my... Hang on a minute here. Oh, they turned.
Yes, sir.
I just caught them. They just took a left turn. They're headed east. So let me go catch up to them here. There they are. So I have a new plot. They're going this way now. Gamer Kid, what do you mean when you say getting ready for Dega Week? It already is Dega Week. They're racing at Dega on iRacing right now. They started Monday, right? Or am I missing something? Or did I go crazy? I'm going to turn to the east.
Single contact. 2. Bearing.
Look how rough the seas are. On the surface, I got the waves. They're as high as my conning tower. There's no way I'm going to be able to do an attack against a task force of warships. They'll detect me like crazy. I'm going to be honest, Gamer Kid. I don't think that it takes a whole lot of preparation to race at a plate track. And there's different strategies there in terms of how long or how tough of a race that you want. I would recommend a open with my setup if you want to try to play the long game. But if you just want to sit down and have a 33-minute skirmish, C fixed. And then, of course, there's everything in between. Here's what's cool about Dega, though. Every car race is very different at Talladega on iRacing. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn off the radar for a minute.
0, 2, 2, 7. Long range.
Just so that it just quits stopping me when I'm trying to cover some distance. And I kind of want to be on this side of their path because that's the side that one heavy ship I'm seeing on radar is. Let me resave the game as attack. So I have a checkpoint. Do I have the radar up? Yes, I do. Let's see what the plot shows. Where did it go? One of these ships had a bigger signature, and it looks... Did they detach it? Oh, look, it's way back here. Wow. I wonder if I damaged it and forgot about it. I didn't think I hit anything, but... Well, I like it that this guy's straggling. I might be able to tuck in behind this destroyer and get him. I'm going to turn off the radar.
0.
And I'm going to draw this all the way across the Celebes. They're looking like they're heading for this opening here, but they could change course. For right now... I'm going to travel under time compression for approximately an hour. Or more. It's 1900 hours. Let's take a look at where they're at. I hate how clumsy this interface is. You have to really click and wait, or else it thinks you're dragging. It's very poorly done. I'm not seeing him on radar. Let's turn back and see if we can find him.
Yes, sir.
I might have lost them. Nope, there they are. It's just kind of out of range. This big heavy ship is back in formation, and look at they're cruising at easy. Check it out. All right, let's turn off the radar so I don't spook them. Let's check the sea state. Still too rough, even for a night surface action, which I'd want to be really careful of.
Yes, sir. New course. 1.
We'll get turned around. We'll stay pretty much out in front of them here. Yeah, I'm going to maintain this speed because it's roughly the speed they're going. I'm being really careful to set up this attack, so okay, there's midnight. Let's look at the radar and see if they're there still. They are not. Let's go back to the west until we pick them back up. Yep, there they are. I do want to correct my plot because they don't look like they're going for that gap. They're a little south of it. Alright, let's check the sea state. Still rough. It's clear out though. I wish the sea would calm down. Normally when you get that many hundreds of miles away from where the sea is rough, it's different everywhere. Sometimes it's rainy, sometimes it's smooth, sometimes it's like this. Hey yo, how you doing, Yopa J? How's life? You ready for Friday? Because Friday's coming. Ready or not, here it comes. Let me turn off the radar. Go back to time compression. Travel at a slower speed for a little bit. Now I'm getting a radio report at that location. So let me... I'm going to send my own action report here. Let me go back to time compression. Okay, it's 4 in the morning. What's the sea state? Still too rough. You know, I'm persistent. The seas are too rough to attack. I've got a task force. Enemy warships, one of which I sank the other night when I was streaming last night.
Relieve the watch.
I sunk the battleship Issei. 33,800 tons. That's an enormous ship. And I also killed the Akizuki. I hear Chief talking to Gamer Kids. So that's cool with Gamer Kids over there hanging out with Chief. Chief's having a wild night, Yopa. People are starting to move in around him. I don't know if you followed Chief's voyage or not, but he's in his tent waiting for Talladega. You know, tomorrow will be truck race, you know. And he's streaming every minute of it. Alright, let's take a look at the radar real quickly and see where those ships are. So they're still in my radar range, that's good. I'll slow down a little bit. Turn this off. Speed up a little bit so they don't catch up to me in the night. It's daylight hours. Let's stop time compression. Check the sea state. This is ridiculous. This is the type of stuff, I can remember this when I was playing this game years ago. As much as I love this game, the incessantly rough seas out here in the Pacific got to the point where it just made me quit playing the game. You can't play. You can't target the ships. You can't engage with the game. And you can travel for days and hundreds of miles and not find relief. And I'm getting frustrated right now. Let's go slow down. We better turn back and see if we can find them. Oh, did they turn again? They might have. Yeah, I lost them. But that's okay, I couldn't attack him anyway. Oh, look at that. Radio report. There's a convoy westbound. I might be able to intercept them. I'm starting to get radar contact on them, and that's good. They're heading pretty much straight west. So let's borrow this plot. I'm not going to be able to attack them either. The sea might be kind of calming down a little bit. Let's go ahead standard.
Head standard. Yes, sir.
I got to answer a question for Chief. Give me a second. Yeah, I've noticed you, as time permits. I appreciate you stopping by. That's always nice. That's one of the things, even if I'm playing a game that doesn't interest people, people still come and say hi. Other people really like this game. There's a lot of retro gamers that remember playing it, and they're like, holy cow, there's a guy live streaming the 17-year-old game I used to love. And I get a little bit of that, believe it or not, here on Twitch, but also on YouTube. More commonly there, I would think. So I'm going to stay out ahead of them. I think I've alerted them with the radar. And at some point, I'm going to turn in that direction, kind of go back to my assigned area and quit screwing around over here in the Celebes and the Sulu Seas. This is just too rough. I might as well spend my time and fuel getting somewhere where I'm going to be able to attack the enemy. And even on, let me do this a second. Even at time compression, I can see these numbers wobbling. And they're wobbling because it's kind of fast-forwarding your action going over the waves. It changes your speed when you hit one. It slows you down. And then also your depth. The depth is a little bit on the random side. So, all right. Let's go back to time compression. I know that convoy is still out there. I'm going to turn on the radar a minute and plot their location. Yeah, I've gotten too far ahead of them, I suspect. And that's all fine and dandy. I'm not going to mess with them. Okay, now we could do something. I can tell by my depth and my speed that we found glassy seas. So I don't know where the task force went. Honestly, I think they despawned. This game, things despawn. So we took a swing and we missed. I'm seeing a sunken ship here. Did I sink one there? I don't remember doing that, but... I'm going to stay out here over as deep a water as I can find, trying to get through here, so that if I encounter an aircraft, I'll at least be able to dive to periscope depth. And I'll follow this shoreline and see if I can encounter any fishing boats, get a couple of kills that way. Alright, let me do a save game as patrol. Take inventory, plenty of fuel, battery. I'll tell it to charge the battery. Right now I don't need to, optimize speed, so I'll go ahead and cap off the battery. I'll re-enable battery charging. And you always want to watch that battery to hit 100%. And make sure that this light turns off. Okay, let's crash dive because that's an aircraft. Alright, we're underwater. We'll slow down to 2 knots to save battery. We'll stay down till probably 13:30 hours. Right about that. Let's surface the boat. Go to speed 2. Battery recharged 100%. And if you're not careful, it's glitching right now. If you're not careful and turn this off manually, it will continue to draw power from the engine as if it's charging the battery, and that consumes an enormous amount of fuel. So this is glitched. It's a glitch that I learned about the hard way earlier in this campaign. All right, what speed are we at? Okay, 2/3 is good. I'm watching fuel to make sure that I, in fact, got that battery charge turned off. Okay, very fast. Let me check depth under keels, 264 feet. That's enough for a crash dive. That goes down to 130 of those. We can slow it down to 2 knots again. We've dived away from the aircraft. The seas are rough again. Not good. You can see here, it's always fun to come down and look at this thing underwater. I wish you had this much camera control in World of Warships, and it's baffling to me that they didn't give you this kind of camera control. But anyway, you can see I'm pretty close to the seafloor there. And even though it's as close as that looks, that's probably... that's over a 300-foot long vessel. That's not even the length of the vessel to either the ocean floor or the surface. It's probably about 200 feet in either direction. In fact, let's ping the ocean floor. 130, so it's about a third the length of this vessel down to the seafloor. Anyway, time compression. We'll wait till probably about 1,000 hours. We'll surface the boat. This went on automatic charge, that's good. Batteries recharged 100%. I gotta turn off the battery charger. It's gonna keep charging a full battery, and I don't know why, but the only way to make it stop... What do we have here? A slow convoy. I could get out ahead of him. I'm on the surface right now. Let's ramp up to full speed. Let me make sure I don't have any doodles anywhere that I want to get rid of. Okay, let's make some fresh doodles. It's 1425 hours. Let me see this. It's 1420. I'm going to make a note in Notepad. I hate having to lean over here like this, but it's just what I have to do. There's 2 computers. I can move this keyboard a little closer. So the time is 1420 when that detection occurred. 1420, convoy, east-northeast slow. 1420 at Mark 1. And what I will do later, when I find this convoy in another position, I can compute the time difference and the distance traveled, and compute the speed. And that's going to help me aim the torpedoes. That's the whole object of that game. Let's manually steer a little east of north, I'd say, about like that. We're already at full speed. What is the sea state? Gosh, is it worth chasing him down in this sea state? It's not as bad as it was before. I'm going to go at least take a look at him. I'm getting sound contact off from him, so let's turn to the right. We'll run parallel to him a little bit. Now I'm going to use radar to pinpoint their location. Alright, so let me make a mark there. Actually, I'll just measure the distance. They've gone 5.5 nautical miles. Is that 1531 hours? Yes, it is. So I'm going to look at my notes. Hang on, I hear a horn blowing. Is that the shout out, or is there a train going by, Chief? Let me type to him. Well, the Junior Motorsports hauler. Semi that brings his race cars to the track. He must have blown his horn. It sounded like a train horn, not a semi. Holy cow, that was cool. That's freaking sweet. What they're doing is they're blowing it at the fans. And if you guys are curious and you want to join Chief at Talladega, he's going to be there all weekend. He streams himself. He's going to stream the race from up in the stands. And he can be reached, Chiefs Voyage, at twitch.tv/Chiefs Voyage, all one word. And now Eric Jones is going by. It's the semis coming in, bringing race cars to Talladega Superspeedway. And he is camping. His campsite is set up right next to the fence that keeps you from, going into the fairgrounds. And the road that the semis are coming in to reach the tunnel is right frickin' there outside of his tent window. Literally his tent door. He's just sitting in his chair chilling out watching these semis pull these race cars in. But it's getting hard to see, as he points out, because it's, nighttime descends on us here in the Eastern time zone of the United States. What are these little bits I keep finding? Is that some food that I spilled? God, I'm such a piggy. You're like a child. Anyway, these ships are about to get attacked. It's getting to be nighttime. So let me turn off radar for a minute. I'll wait till at night and I'll try a semi-submerged. I'll probably do decks awash so that as the waves come by past my periscope, they won't wash the periscope. I'll be able to keep them in view to line up some shots. I think it's too rough, and even that is probably going to be really a pain in the butt, but we're going to try it. We'll go to 2/3 speed, save some fuel. We're kind of waiting for nightfall here. And you know what the thing is? I gotta draw a circle here. I want to be within about 2 miles of where they're going to pass through. And then stop and wait for them there. So let's turn to the left. I need to turn a little more. You want to approach on a 90-degree angle, and there's some math involved here. It just makes it easier to compute your shot. Alright, I'm going to turn on the radar one more time. Let's see where they're at on radar. I'm going to stop. I'll stop. There they are. Plot's a little off, but not by much. That's a very accurate plot. Okay, so I'm probably about 1.5 miles off of that track. Let's turn off the radar. Excuse me, folks. It's not even late, and I'm already tired. I'm going to dive to about, I'm going to say 54 feet. Which is 6 feet shy of periscope depth. And this thing will just kind of settle down into the water. It'll be pretty difficult to see. You can see the waves periodically go over my mast. And in fact, I'm going to raise the attack periscope fully. Just to make sure that from this depth, the waves can't wash over the top of it. Hey, Gamer Kid, what are contagious? Yeah, that's probably a good depth. We'll hide the periscope. And we'll start to pick them up on audible. I won't need radar at this point. Okay, it's dark, and they're approaching in the dark. That's good. See, darkness is falling. I timed this just about right. A little bit of that is dumb luck. I really had no clue how far they were going to go in that time. Oh, yeah. The yawn is contagious. Boy, is it ever. I've just been really busy and really just kind of tired. This is kind of a crappy time of year in Michigan because it's not cold and it's not warm. It's just I can't decide if it's spring or still winter. Okay, now that I've got the plot updated, I find myself in a really, really good position here. And I'm watching those lines approach. Those lines show where my hydrophone operator, my sonar operator, hears the ships coming from. And you can go to time compression, just kind of watch them work their way in. In fact, I might go a third speed. I appear to need to be a little closer. I'll stop. They're getting close now. They are moving really slow. By the way, I hadn't even done the math on that yet. .5 nautical miles. That's 1 hour and 11 minutes, so that's 71 minutes. Let me go to my favorite website, calculatorsoup.com. Distance was 5.5. Something tells me these numbers don't add up. But maybe they do. Minutes. 71 minutes. Calculate. I guess 4.6 knots isn't surprising. 4 to 5 knots. So Chief is making an announcement. He says, when you go in any stream you sub, do you always get the share you sub? I could share today and will allow me to do so again tomorrow if I wanted. I don't know what you're talking about, Chief. I've never seen anything about sharing subs. That's an interesting concept altogether. How close are these ships to me? Should I go to silent running yet? Yeah, it's probably a good time to do that. Let's sound general quarters.
Yes, sir. For sun. Yes, sir.
The reason I'm complaining about the weather here in Michigan is I'm so cold, my nose is getting like you're outside in the winter, like your nose is cold. Hate that. I might go turn the heat on. I'm in the basement. I moved my stuff down to the basement. All right, now they're starting to get close. There they all are. There's a destroyer to my left. And there's supposed to be a destroyer in front of me, but I don't hear him anymore, so that's making me suspicious. Let's go listen by hand. All merchants. Okay, let's start creeping forward a little bit.
Current speed. 2. Yes, sir.
I'll stop. That destroyer's back now.
Contact. Urgent.
I'll be able to hear him.
Bearing 292. Long range.
I should. Right there. Okay, time compression will bring him closer, faster. Uh-oh. I hate how this little stopwatch always appears right where I'm working. It's just... it doesn't seem like a good place to put it. Let's move it there. Okay, so now the destroyer in front of me is super, super close. So I might fire at him. He's over here more at 360. What kind is he? I think I see 2 stacks. Dang it. Such a clumsy... It's just slow. It makes you make all your clicks really slow, and I hate that. I gotta get to the destroyers. It's not Akizuki. I'm thinking possibly a Sashio. Yep, that's a Sashio. It's open tube 1. Start putting a solution in on him. He's probably doing 10 knots, thereabouts. I'm going to go ahead and fire at him. This is very ballsy. But didn't this thing... There it goes. It's doing its turn now. Let's follow this torpedo and see if I get him. Okay, I'll go look at Discord in this... Actually, am I on Discord? Yeah, I am. I didn't know if I was logged in or not at the moment. I'll go look at that. It's your anniversary. Oh, when you click that share button, it doesn't give the sub to another person. That's what puts up a message that says, you know, Chief's Voyage has been following for 4 months. He's on a 3-month streak. That makes that message appear. If you don't click share, it won't show that message. And then there's more tools. I don't know what that does. But I've had to do it a couple of times, though. Oh, he's turning, but this thing might chase him. If he hadn't turned, he'd be right here, according to my stopwatch. I'm using time compression because this is just taking so long. It looks like it's homing. It's chasing him. If he doesn't accelerate, because these torpedoes are slow, but if they're just putting along, this torpedo will get him. I had that happen, by the way, just the other day, so that's kind of a new bug, Chief, where you can share and reshare. It does happen to me, but it's just started. It's a new bug. This homing torpedo is nowhere near where I originally aimed it, and it's still kind of going after the destroyer. I see it changing direction up there. My little precious. It's just such a slow little torpedo, man. It's trying to catch him. It's like the little engine that could. It just keeps pedaling right along. The mobile app is garbage right now. They've introduced so many bugs with this last update. I've noticed a lot of different things too. Earlier today while I was watching your stream, you know, we were chatting. Then I wanted to put some emotes in there, and I typed it all up and clicked send, and it deleted a bunch of the words that I had also typed with the emotes. And then on my end, it made it look like the message was sent, right? Like it's in your chat with me typing it, but when I looked on your screen, because your chat appears in the top left corner, on top, you know, as an overlay, my text wasn't there. The text, nothing. Come on, go get him. And of course, none of that happens in using the browser. It's just their crappy app.
269, long range.
Text is disappearing with emotes, exactly. Yep. Only in the app, though. If I'm sitting at my computer, which I often am, I'd quit driving away. Stop, destroyer. Stop and take your medicine. How far away? So far you can't even see the squadron or the convoy. It's trying to catch him. It's just pedaling so hard. It wants to get him. Yeah, they need to fix it. I would assume they know about the problems. I get so tired of, contacting app makers about their problems. I just kind of quit doing that. It's getting closer. Little by little, this thing's been running so long, it's probably going to just... The battery's probably going to die right before it hits. Yep, it's turning. It's going to go get him. Yeah, this poor little torpedo's been pedaling so hard. Give me a hit. That torpedo going to make it, or will it not make it? It's so close. It's so close. So close yet so far away. There we go, there we go. Get him, get him. Come on, get him. There it goes, got him. Just slammed him in the ass end, but look at, the propellers aren't even slowing, he's sped up. Anyway, let's go see what I can do with these other ships out here with these circles with his ass end blown off. There's a 10,000 tonner. There's another 10,000 tonner. There are really good ships here to attack. We'll open those torpedo tubes. Let's go look at that 10,000 tonner in the identification manual. It's that one right there. Large modern tanker, 10,000 ton. Draft is 28.2 feet. I will program these torpedoes for a 24-foot depth so that we're a little bit below them, but not deep enough to miss underneath. You're supposed to be able to go and miss underneath on purpose and have it blow up underneath them to cavitate the water, but that doesn't work with these torpedoes for some reason. So I've been just going ahead and going about, a couple odd feet. That ship is not a lot of freeboard. There's something going on there. Nonetheless, we'll go ahead standard. I'm not even sure what his angle is. I think he's going 5 knots, which is probably generous. I actually think he's going much slower than that. I think they're doing maybe 4.5. I'd clocked him at 4.5 earlier. I'm going to go ahead and launch against him. There's another one over here that I want to attack. Where is he? I better look. I want to take a look and see. That destroyer is close. There's a very, very close destroyer. Those two are kind of overlapping each other. There's another one out there. Super hard to see in the distance. God, it's so blurry. See what I'm seeing up here on plot. I'm hearing tiny pings. Speed, let's start diving. Meanwhile, I'm going to try to go look and find some of these torpedoes and follow them along. I'll use a little time compression.
Yes, sir.
Uh-oh.
Yes, sir.
Why did my ship surface instead of diving? I commanded it to dive.
Current depth 4.
There, now it's starting to dive. My God. I know for a fact I hit the dive key, and it surfaced instead.
Current depth 80.
Anyway, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to command this thing to return to course. Depth under keel is 384 feet. I'll dive to about 350.
New depth 3. 5.
Right here, I'm going to launch a decoy.
Current depth 120.
I knew this would be a waste of time, just because the seas are too rough. They're too rough to aim. The ships also started maneuvering after I hit the destroyer, which is interesting because that destroyer, who's on his way back,
Contact.
he's down by the stern.
Current depth 3. 1. 8.
He's not making very good speed, but I can't finish the job.
Current
He could still founder.
0. 0. Current depth 2. 2. 0. Current depth 2. 4. 0. Yes, sir.
Got to slow to 1/3 speed. Because even though I'm below the thermocline, they can still hear me.
0.
Alrighty. Let's do this. I'm just checking out my views. Probably going to initiate a depth charge attack. The fast pings mean they got a lock on me. Man, it is dark out there.
3. 0. 0. Torpedo impact.
Ooh, I got a torpedo impact. So I'm not hearing the pings anymore. I can still go down another 100 feet if I want, but 350 is going to be fine. We'll use time compression.
Torpedo miss, sir. Tube 1 ready, sir.
So I fired off 4 torpedoes and did score a hit. I got a destroyer out there damaged, down by the stern. It's probably this one here. And yeah, Chief points out that the previous version was perfect, and that's how it always is. Video games, no matter what, when it comes to software, people think, hey, let's go do this and this with the software, and so they meddle with it, and the next thing you know, it doesn't work at all anymore. Instead of just leaving it alone, because everybody's happy. I am going to put a marker down. I'm going to turn to the right. I want to head northwest. Because I may resurface and finish the job.
Yes, sir.
How is this thing still floating? He's down by the stern, but now his damage is fixed. It's like the damage despawned.
Yes, sir.
Let's blow ballast here. And as I surface, right as I approach 100 feet, I need to tell it to maintain. I need to go to periscope depth.
Yes, sir.
Because I think he's incapacitated. I think his engine's finally quit from the damage. Now he's a sitting duck. Which way am I facing? Anyway, I'm hard to port, so I can get my back end facing him. Passing thermal layer. Now I will tell it periscope depth.
Periscope depth.
Actually, let's go a little shallower than that because of the seas.
New depth. 5. 5. Yes, sir. Rudder. Rudder. Yes,
I'll
sir.
go rudder midships and I'll go all stop. Let's lift up the periscope here. Let's look out the back. And there he is in all of his beautiful glory. Let's go find a Sashio. I'm quite sure that that's the destroyer in question. His speed is 0. He's behind me about like this. Let me compute his range. (3,000 feet, tube 7. I want to make sure it's the right type of tube. Yeah, it will be. 3,600 meters, so that's okay. He's about straight back at just a little south of one, or I should say a little east of south, so let me go look at that. Let me ping it. I should get a reflection rate about here. No. I'm not getting an answer on that, so that's peculiar. You unlock it. Yeah, he's just stationary. What I'm going to do is aim a little more this way. And fire. Well, let me look at the depth of that torpedo. Yeah, 6 feet should be enough to hit him. In fact, I'm going to give it 8. Well, I'll give it 7.5 feet. And let's look over here in this direction. I'll command this thing to reload that tube. I'm not under silent running, so my torpedoes are being reloaded right now. Where is he? He should be right there. There he is. Let's take a course. We'll go 1/3 speed. Let's head north.
1/3. New course. 3, 5, 7.
Actually, I might want to go northeast.
Yes, sir. New course. 4, 6.
Keep an eye on him, watch and see if he gets hit. I could probably get away with bringing the periscope down a little bit. You know what I might do? Let's see if we can find the torpedo. Am I still on target? No, I'm not. I'm off to the side a little bit, I think. I don't see the torpedo. So he's searching. He's lost propulsion finally from that torpedo hit earlier. That torpedo that's coming now, that will not sink it. That's a pretty big daddy that he's got coming to him right now. Try one more time to find that torp. I love it when I can find it. Oh, there it is. I found it. Wasn't too far off its course. Oh, yeah, it's on target. And even though I made it go deep, the thing is sitting low in the water from the earlier damage. This is definitely going to get him. Look at my little precious. How close are we getting? Oh, I see it underwater even. Oh yeah, he's toast. Unit destroyed. So I had a mark here. That's probably him. There was a ship here that I had figured is dead in the water. And I thought it was the freighter that I hit, because I did hit a freighter. Well, it's better than nothing. I did sink an Asashio. I'll log that in. Hang on a minute. Let me stop the mousing from going absolutely bonkers. It's probably not worth these rough seas chasing him down, so let's go down to 100 feet. I'll lower both periscopes. I'll command the crew to resume my normal course.
Returning to course, sir. Yes, sir.
That was a fun little attack in any event. So far this war patrol, I've sunk 36,501 tons. To that I have to add 2,370 for a new total of 38,000 tons. 38,871 tons, I should say. That's my third ship of the patrol. Alright, good deal. Let me use time compression. Go a little ways here. Let's look at the torpedoes. Everything's reloaded, so we're good to go. I will do a save game as patrol. So I have a checkpoint.
Yes, sir.
I'll surface the boat. I'll do a little housekeeping, erase my doodles. What time is it? 21:52, so I'll still go ahead at standard speed. Get through these shallow areas.
Ship spotted. Bearing 270. Lost.
Saying a ship spotted, but there ain't no ship spotted. I don't know what's going through this thing's head. Seas are still a little bit rough, but the skies are clear. We'll just continue on our course. Let's get shallow through here. This risky.
Bearing 356.
Uh-oh. What's the depth below keel here? 275 feet, so I can crash dive safely. Okay, we'll slow to speed 2. We'll go to
Yes, sir.
80 feet of depth.
8.
We don't need to be deep.
0.
Ooh, there's a contact. Merchant. Save game attack.
Contact. Merchant.
Let's head towards it. That'll be a right turn to the west.
On range.
Now I want to go northwest to intercept it. Standard speed, we'll watch battery as I go. Let's check oh, it's glass. Okay, so I can come the rest of the way up to periscope depth. Right now I'm at 80 feet, which is 20 feet too deep for the periscope. And I'm converging with them.
Yes, sir. All stop.
I'll order all stop until I know what's going on over there. Wow, how far away is he? Pretty close. Let's go see what it is. We've slowed to 4 knots, so it probably won't get spotted. If you're going really super fast... Oh, it's a 10,000 tonner. Oh, heck yeah, dude. Let's go back to standard speed. Let's close in a little bit. Put a marker down. Okay, now that he's moved a little bit, I have a pretty good idea of his movement. I need a tiny bit of a turn to the left here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Probably I'm close enough. Let's... Oh yeah, that's 1,000 meters there. Or 1,000 yards.
All stop.
I'll order all stop. In fact, I might even go back 2/3 for a minute and slow it down, you know, to break the speed. Right there is good. He's going real slow. A submerged daytime attack in smooth water. This is ideal. Torpedo tubes 1 and 2. Let's pull them up in the recognition manual so that I can set up the attack correctly. Click this check mark. It says large modern tanker up here. So now let's look at his range. Line it up with the top of his mast. About 1,500 out. That sounds about right. 360 minus 315 is 45 degrees. That's easy. Is there another one in front of me? Bearing 359, it says? There is another target out there. Jeez, that's crazy. Anyway. It says he's doing 10 knots. Not a chance. Maybe 5. 5 to 7 there. Take another set of measurements. 5 might even be too fast because my gyro angle jumped back. So now 90 or 360 minus 320 is 40. 90 minus 40 is 50. And we'll take another measurement and it'll probably jump back even at 5 knots. We'll find out here though. No, it did not. 5 knots is accurate. My guess was money. We'll just nudge this a little bit. That clocks him at 6 knots, but I think that's clocking him too fast. In any case, that ship has got a 28.2 foot draft, so I'll take tubes 1 and 2. We'll go a little bit shallower than that. I'll go 26 feet. We're ready to go. I could fire right now because I have it locked in and it's tracking. 6 is too fast. I knew it would be. So let's see. 360 minus 325 is 35 degrees. 90 minus 35 is 55. We'll clock a speed again. This is 6, but I know it's 5. I'm not getting good data out of that. Five might even be a little on the too fast side.
Firing 2-1. Torpedo in the water.
says 4 knots.
Firing tube 2.
There's 2 torps. I'll watch the lead torp first. 30 seconds to impact. I just hope I didn't set them too deep, because American torpedoes ran too deep early war, but this game has been doing it to me late war too. This version of the game has been buggier than I ever remembered it, but... oh yeah. That's on target. Let's see if it's not too deep to blow up at the keel. It's going to be a hard hit. Oh yeah, rip that bottom wide open. That should slow him down enough for the second torpedo to get him. Here we go. His screws are still going. How can he take that much damage and he still has propulsion?
Yes, sir. Ahead standard.
What sucks is he's got guns, or I'd surface and engage him that way. I'm going to go ahead standard. I'm going to close in a little bit. He's trying to get away. You would too if you just took 2 torpedoes. That's a gun on the bow and a gun on the stern. Destroyed. There's another ship at 12 o'clock. Which way is he going? Let's lower that periscope. What's this little black over here? It's like, why is there a black there? Anyway, while we enjoy the sinking of this Japanese freighter, it's actually a tanker. Let's go add in the damage I just did. $10,003 tons. Is 48,874.
Yes, sir.
Let's surface the boat.
Yes, sir. Single contact.
That lifeboat's going, oh, great! Signal at 053. Where is that on plot? There's aircraft there. Let's save game as patrol. And then...
Yes, sir. Firing at will.
I'll set up the flat gun to fire at will. We'll load high explosive in the 5-inch 25 cal. Can't shoot at it. It's too low of a traversal. That's just a box floating.
Yes, sir. Rudder 2, 4. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Rudder.
I'd ram them.
Yes, sir. Rudder 9. Yes, sir.
Trying to row out of the way.
Rudder 2, 1. Rudder 3.
Let's go hard right.
Hard to starboard. 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 Hard to
Ah,
starboard. Yes, sir.
it ain't turning after him.
Yes, sir.
Single contact. Bearing 3, 2, long range.
You know how terrifying that would be? Let's commit an atrocity. Blow up their boat. Hey, lifeboat. Hey, it's a ton. And it's a victory. Let's add that up.
Aircraft spotted.
Yes, sir.
Contact. Merchant.
Man the flak
Constant
gun.
distance. Bearing 330. Long
Yes,
range.
sir. Firing at will. Yes, sir. Targeting at will.
330. He's out there somewhere. Where's the aircraft?
Yes, sir. Hard to port. Yes, sir. Hard to port.
I think we got him. Yep, we shot him down. No, I don't see the kill message. Where did the plane he augured?
Yes, sir. Rudder. Yes, sir.
Another aircraft. I want to see where this thing is, though. Where'd he go? Hard to starboard here.
Hard to starboard. Yes, sir.
There are a lot of aircraft out here. We'll go flank speed. Let's crash dive.
Yes, sir.
It's just too damn many of these planes. We'll maintain current orders. I've already got it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, standard speed. Let's go to 100 feet of depth.
New depth. 9.
Let's head northeast. For some reason, I'm still stuck on that rudder. I don't have much battery, but let's try it. Yeah, let's surface the boat. Flank speed.
Yes, sir.
Type of ship is it? Just a couple of small coastals. Radar contact.
Bearing 174, long range.
How far away am I from these guys? 3.5 nautical miles. What's my torpedo situation? Out of torpedoes again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Let's crash dive. What's the depth below keel? Plenty for a crash dive.
yes, sir. Head slow. Yes, sir.
Let's come up to periscope depth. Am I close enough to mount an attack yet? Kind of. I don't have a lot of battery, but we're gonna do it because I want to press this attack.
Yes, sir. New course. 3, 5, 1.
They're really small targets. They might not be worth, putting torpedoes into them. And they're too far out. I gotta let them go.
Yes, sir.
Let's head west
Yes, sir.
at 2 knot speed. Yeah. Meanwhile, I can have my guys stand at ease. Let them sleep. Battery down to 10%. That's okay, keep going. Battery's almost dead. We'll stop here. Right now, we're just kind of standing to pretty close to the ocean floor. It's shallow here. It's different skills you need to fight in areas like this. No matter how skilled you are, you still need torpedoes, and I'm just going to do this for the sake of accomplishing my mission. Let me check fuel too. Plenty of that. Well, the battery's pretty depleted from all this underwater running that I've been doing, but we'll hang out here until dark. And is that dark enough becomes the question.
3, 5, 8,
Yes.
long range.
Sound contact, warship, medium speed closing at dead ahead. There's a couple of them. Let's keep an eye on it. I'll stay underwater here for a little bit until I know what they're doing. Okay, they're passing by. Oh, there's a bunch of them. They're coming towards me. Not good.
Yes, sir. Rig for silent running. Yes, sir.
We'll rig for silent running. I do have a homing torpedo in tube 6. They're ahead to my left, but I don't know how close they are. Studying. Still don't see him. This one is spotted, though. He's in range.
Relieve the watch.
3.5 miles out. Let's go back to time compression. Let's see what they are. Yeah, I thought that's what it sounded like on the hydrophones, these little stupid sub-chasers. That's a destroyer, though. 2 destroyers and a sub-chaser, so they got a little mini task force out here. And then there's me, chilling in the depth. Hiding in the murk, waiting to surface and recharge batteries. My batteries are very badly depleted. It's not a good time to be jumped by 3 destroyers. Okay, right about now, I think they're far enough away. They are. Secure from silent running. Let's blow the ballast. Get up to the surface. Let's turn on radar for a minute. Gotta watch those guys, make sure they continue on their merry way. Battery is charging. I'm just staying right where I'm at. Okay, good on the battery. Plenty of fuel. We'll go 2/3 ahead. We'll keep the battery charge going for the time being. Once it's charged, battery recharged. Let's turn off the battery charger so it doesn't drink the fuel up. Return to course. Okay, 0200 hours. Let's go look at the sea state. Perfectly calm. Moonlit night. That can be dangerous. Ships on the opposite side of the moon could see your silhouette, but you can't see theirs. But I am small compared to, you know, a full-size warship or a freighter, so I'm not too concerned about it. Let's save a checkpoint. S Patrol. Alright, it's good stuff. Resume. Time compression in. Let's make sure radar is on. Good. medium speed convoy ahead. Probably on its way into Bandar. What's the depth below keel where I'm at? 100 feet. God, it's so shallow. I don't think I'm going to have an opportunity to attack it, but we'll see we'll see what happens here. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get out. This is an odd formation. Oh, that's just because it hasn't drawn them all in yet. There they are. That's very normal. I will turn off the radar so I don't spook them. I'm not going to be able to intercept them by any means. I'm going to come out here to a little bit deeper water. Aircraft, depth below keel is deep enough to crash dive, so we'll crash dive. Slow it down.
Current 1.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're not a lot of space there between the ocean floor. Go with periscope depth. I'll try to sneak away. Something I'm going to do while it's doing that time compression, I want to take a look at the weather. 51 degrees out right now and 100% chance of rain. Rainfall amounts between 1/4 and 1/2 inch. I didn't know we were getting rain tonight. Oh, we're about to get slammed. I actually like that, because I gotta go shopping tonight. I need some groceries, and I always do that late at night and the stores are empty. Because I'm kind of a night owl. Look at that radar. Oh my goodness. Actually, it's really heavy north of me and really heavy south of me. I'm gonna get a smattering. I'll be honest, I haven't washed my Jeep in a while. It'll be nice to drive it in the rain, get a little water on it. Anyway, back to the game. I'm going to stream for at least another hour, though. Let's zip back into time compression. It's 1,500 hours. What do I have? Batteries discharged. Why? Oh, I'm at periscope depth. What's my depth here? 128 feet, so I didn't even realize I was at periscope depth.
Yes, sir.
So we'll stop.
Stop. Yes, sir.
Look how shallow the water is. Even with the observation periscope, I can look down and see the ocean floor. Just looking for planes. I'm just going to look at the plot instead of searching. That convoy won't be an issue. Alright, so let's go to general quarters.
Yes, sir.
Blow ballast.
Yes, sir.
Once we get shallow enough, once we get the decks above water, these should light up my gun crews.
Yes, sir. Ahead slow.
Yes, sir.
I have to stay on the surface. I'm going to go to 1/3 speed because I was at periscope depth all that time and didn't go to 2 knot speed, so pretty badly discharged here. Nonetheless, we'll continue on.
Bearing 2.
Radar contact, that's going to be aircraft. So let me give my guys orders on that anti-aircraft gun. I can't tell if these are lit or not. They did such a terrible job with this game, with colors and accessibility. But they're lit up. This thing is going to fire at will. I'm going to tell it to fire only at closing targets. That way if he flies by but doesn't see us, we won't attract attention by shooting at him. Here they come.
Yes, sir.
Flank speed.
Head flank.
Hard right rudder.
Hard to starboard.
Wish my guys would start shooting at him. There we go. Now hard to port.
Yes, sir.
Nice flying, Jack.
Deck gun damage, sir.
Yes, sir.
Did it give you credit for that? Nope. The Japanese keep dive bombing me and then just lawn darting right into the sea.
Yes, sir. Return into course, sir. Yes, sir. Ahead 1/3.
I will check the damage. It's almost always nothing. My 5-inch 25 cal got a little bit hurt.
Yes, sir.
They'll fix it.
Secure from battle stations.
Why did it go to 8x? Is there something out there? There's no message. It's probably just going to 8x because of these stupid reports. Kind of annoying. Alright, we got the battery back. Just keep buzzing along here. What's depth below keel? 200 feet. It's pretty shallow. Engage enemy merchant shipping in the area. South China Sea. Yep, we'll just cruise along at 8 knots. Slow speed makes you a little bit harder to detect. It doesn't leave as much wake for aircraft to see, but also, if something does see you that you don't see them, they just see something out there going 8 knots, they figure, oh, it's just probably a fishing boat or something. But if you're cruising along at 18, 20 knots, they know you're a warship that doesn't belong there. And the game does kind of model that a little bit.
Bearing 166 long range.
I can dive away from him if I want, can't I? Yeah, it's 200 plus feet deep here. I need about 130 feet for a crash dive. Now we'll keep an eye on the battery.
Yes, sir.
It's 10:25 hours. We'll stay down for the daytime here. We'll come up to periscope depth. If anything's nearby, I'll hear them on hydrophones. What's the sea state? Oh, it's raining. We won't have aircraft, not in the rain.
Yes, sir. Blow ballast. Yes, sir.
Surface the boat. Personally, I like night driving in the rain, like I will be doing tonight to go shopping. And the reason for that is nobody wants to do that, right? They all,
Yes, sir.
you know, South China Sea. I could go to the north now at this point. I don't need to go to that spot. It gave me credit already. Let's go to deeper water. Let's head over for Indochina. What we now know as Vietnam. Depth below keel. Now that airplaner coming in, 300 feet, crash dive. Get the depth, slow it to 2 knots. Back time compression. Surface about noon.
Yes, sir. Surface the boat.
Right, what's this? A convoy at medium speed. I wonder if I'll be able to... Well, I don't know what to do. It would make sense to go after that, wouldn't it? That's a small convoy, fast. You know what? Let me ramp this thing up to flank speed. Do I have fuel for this? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And I'll tell you why. I think that this right there is probably my better bet for an attack. Because whenever you see a convoy marked fast, it's usually 2 destroyers escorting 1 or 2 16,000-ton troop transports. Radar's off. So I will use plot to navigate for me. We'll go to time compression. Right about here, I'm going to go ahead and save this as attack. And I do want to mark that spot at 1340 hours so I can calculate the speed later. It says fast, but fast targets, you have to be very accurate with your torpedo computations because you have very little margin of error. If they're moving really slow and you miscalculate and you're out in front a little bit there, you know, let's say you miss towards the rear of the ship, it's going slow. Well, if it's slow enough, you'll only miss towards the rear of the ship a little worse. But if they're going fast and you miss towards the rear, they just zoom right by and the torpedo misses. It's just much tighter margin of error. And these guys I'm going to want to get within 2 miles of, so this plot looks really good. Assuming I'm accurate based on the radio information I have, but once I get closer, we'll do something a little different. Now, the seas have gotten rough, not happy about that. I'm going to turn on the radar and see if I pick them up on radar. Let me stop here and wait. And when you know it, aircraft come.
Yes, sir. Crash dive.
Let's order a crash dive. It'll spool up to flank speed. And the depth of the keel is 600 feet. It's plenty deep here.
Current depth 40.
Okay, how dark is it? I'm gonna blow ballast.
Blow ballast.
Standard speed.
Ahead standard.
I don't know if the radar's gonna come on yet or not, so I'll wait till I'm surfaced and then I'll recheck it. And I'm gonna backtrack and see if I can catch up with them. There's a good chance they changed course, but yeah, I might have blown this one. I probably should have pursued them more aggressively. Let's turn that radar on because it's night and it's stormy. This sucks. Bad weather is worse than anything in this game. Alright, even with the radar on, I'm not detecting them. So let's move this plot here. And then we'll resume my Indochina sweep. I could go into the Gulf of Tonkin. I don't have enough torpedoes to make that worth my time. I'm going to find targets with that little route. And then we'll go back to Mioso-Wendy to refit. Let's go to time compression and zoom right along. I'll erase my doodles. Hang on. A convoy medium speed.
Yes, sir. All stop. Yes, sir. Ahead slow.
I'm just going to throw some points out there for now. I'll refine those plots. Is my radar still on? Yes, it is, so that's good. That was at 1250 hours. Making a note of it. I'm way too tired to memorize anything Yeah, they keep... I don't know why I keep losing these guys. I keep getting radio reports and then nothing. What's my torpedo situation? I still got kind of a few. You know, it's interesting. That's probably enough plot points. This area west of Manila is always a hot spot. Look, another convoy. You know what I'm going to do? Instead of going after fishing boats and, you know, coastal shipping, let me cut across the South China Sea. I keep running into stuff in the area here. Let's save this as patrol. My diesel reserve is down to 50%. I better check and see something here. Yep, that glitch. I'm not charging the battery, but it's sucking it's sucking battery down, or fuel down. Let me crash dive. Plane's out in the middle of nowhere. Slow to 2 knots. This is getting tedious. It's actually kind of making me bored of the game. Just always diving from the planes. It's just the same song and dance. They just happen way too much.
Yes, sir.
Blow the ballast. Go back to normal speed.
Yes, sir.
Remember to turn off the battery. So every time the planes put me down, I got to go through this rigmarole with an added step of having to make sure that the battery charger gets turned off. Because of that bug. God, I'm getting nothing. Oh, I forgot to turn this back on. But that's okay, because out in the middle of nowhere, the odds are there's nothing there. And it sucks, though, because if I had detected something way out here with a radar, it's a nice place to do some hunting. It's a task force! That right there are the 2 big ships that I was telling you guys about. I need to stay outside of about 8 nautical miles. Let me put a plot through them here. Okay, so that was at 0756. This could be good.
Yes, sir. Ahead flank.
Yes, sir.
Let's do this. Working with this plot board is really very clumsy. I think I got it about right. Let's see if I can intercept right about here at flank speed. It might all... Yeah, shit, those things are doing nearly 20 knots. These are stupid ships. They're not worth my time.
Yes, sir.
Back to a 3rd speed.
Yes, sir.
It's really a bad idea for me to pick a fight with 4 anti-submarine patrollers. God, I'm trying to grab that point, but I used the wrong tool. I'm gonna head back. Watch them guys on radar, make sure they don't get any ideas. I'll skip Manila Bay. Once you got to deal with this bug, man, you just gotta go to port and end your mission. Radar contact. What do we have? Aircraft? Most assuredly. Here comes this crap again. Crash dive. Rat depth. Go back to 1x. 2 knots. Back up to a bunch of x's. Wait till about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Surface the boat. Okay, no contacts. After the battery's done charging, click to turn off that. These points didn't plot real well. I'll sink my submarine if I let it go that route, because it'll hit those islands. They're fixed. And save game in case something does happen. And back to time compression. Start backing out of time compression as I approach. Command to refit.
Gun ready, sir.
That gun repaired, sir. Send some radio messages to let BDU know what's going on here. Go to the torpedoes, finish reloading, refit again to put those 2 torpedoes back. Alright, we're fully loaded with fuel and torpedoes, but my problem is the game is glitched, and I have to go to port to end the mission to get this battery recharging glitch fixed. Or deal with it. I'm inclined to do a little bit of both here. I'll find targets for those torpedoes, but I don't know how far I have to go. You know what I wish this game did? It does simulate who controlled what territories at what dates of the war, but I wish it showed kind of a red overlay for the parts of the sea that the Japanese control, so I know where to go to get good targets.
Relieve the watch.
That would be cool. Anyway, in other news, I don't think I'm going to come back and stream again tonight after shopping, but I might. I'm kind of having fun, despite this game being really buggy right now. That's a big glitch. That glitch is kind of a big deal. I really should... Yeah, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to port. Then we'll start another mission. It'll be fixed. So we'll head back to Perth-Fremantle. At psychotic time compression. You know something I haven't had a problem with lately? Is the time compression being really, really glitchy. If the time compression gets really glitchy like that... Uh-oh.
3, 2, 6, long range.
Full reverse.
Back emergency.
Yes, sir.
See, it doesn't show that plot, that island when you're on plot, plotting your course. It shouldn't allow you to connect a plot that, you know, collides with the damn island. If this thing lets me add a plot point. No, I don't think it does. I'm gonna have to screw around and just manually deal with this crap. Why is it going forward? Shit! I just pulled this thing back emergency, now it just suddenly unilaterally decides it's not in reverse anymore? Rudder midships, please. Thank you. It's doing all weird things with the rudder this way and that. Back it out to sea here. Rudder midships. Standard ahead. Return to course. There. Now I'm going to go to crazy time compression while I walk through here to see if there isn't some other invisible island. I don't think so. It should be good from here on out. I really miss that about Silent Hunter 3. Fox traffic received. In Silent Hunter 3, right now, it knows I have enough fuel to make it to my destination. Just click one button and you're done. You're there. You're back at port. What is the message? Be advised, U.S. Task Force. Headed to the Philippines. All nearby patrol craft requested to sweep area for hostile naval forces. You're a day late and $1 short, Fox. But never minding that. Because that would have been ideal for me. Get up in the South China Sea near the Philippines. Kind of help out there. Nonetheless, this game is glitched. I want to go back and just want to restart my patrol. Go to my 19th War Patrol. There's a friendly ship. You're on your own. I'm doing what I'm doing, and you're doing what you're doing. I wish there was an anchorage closer. And there's a merchant. Guaranteed that's friendly. Not even to go look. There it is. It lit up blue.
Single contact. Bearing 4-1 long range.
So now I'm picking up radar. That's going to be friendly aircraft. End patrol. So let's do an accuracy check. 48,875 is the number they could come up with. They're crediting me with 2 merchants and 3 warships. At some point I forgot to add some ships in there, but that's okay, not a problem. Let's go to port and see if there's any new technologies, like some cool new torpedoes. Faster homing torpedoes would be nice. And I've earned yet another award, the Medal of Valor, for my inspiring leadership and aggressiveness, in keeping with the highest traditions of the United States submarine force.
If any of us were hoping for a large sea battle, they sure got it. The Japanese, always looking for the decisive battle to turn the fate of the war in the Pacific, have come out in force. The main Japanese force, comprising their most powerful and modern battleships, was meant to sneak through the St. Bernardino Strait and attack from the north our landing forces in the Gulf of Leyte. In a classic pincher maneuver, a second battleship force would engage our forces from the south, passing through the Surigao Strait. To cover up their approach, a decoy force of aircraft carriers and hybrid battleships would come from the north. It was hoped that the powerful U.S. fleet guarding the northern approach would pursue them and leave the way open for the Japanese battleships. In fact, their plan worked for the most part. After submarine and air attacks left the Central Force seemingly annihilated, the U.S. Third Fleet headed for the northern force. It did sink the 4 Japanese carriers in that fleet the next day, but the real danger had passed unnoticed in the south.
These carriers had no aircraft.
Supercruisers had arrived in position, while the southern one was smashed during the night through a classical torpedo and gun action. The central force appeared almost intact near the American landing beaches. There was little that could be done for the moment, but luck was with us. Faced with aggressive attacks by destroyers and aircraft that were taking off almost unarmed, and lacking accurate intelligence on what they were actually facing, the Japanese retreated after sinking only a couple of escort carriers.
Yeah, those decoys appeared in the north, and they were just that, decoys. They weren't even aircraft carrier with aircraft and pilots. They were literally defanged. Oh, look at the phone. Is that because my mouse is hovering over it? Yeah, it is. So I've got to do some updating here on my scorekeeping overlay. Typing in some updated information. I got to do some math too, don't I? Oops, wrong button. I got to add 48,875 tons to a previous total of 1,156,342 tons for a new career total of 1,205,217 tons. And 263 ships plus 5 gives me a new career total of 268 ships. There, everything's up to date. Okay, any cool new technologies? I really don't think so. I think through the end of the war, this is just basically it. Let's look at torpedoes. Oh, look at, you know what's cool about the torpedoes? Is the Mark 18 is now free. This late in the war, I don't even have to pay for these. You can have all electric torpedoes all you want. The Mark 27 homing torpedo, that's a lot of range. Holy cow, 4,500 meters. I keep a few of those on board to deal with Japanese destroyers, but it's unbelievable that they still have the Mark 10, the Mark 14, Mark 18, which the Mark 18's okay. That's what I've loaded up with is Mark 18, but there's nothing special. No more cool special torpedoes. How about my crew? Anybody ready for promotion? No, they're all promoted out. That was a short mission, though. I didn't stay out long. I didn't want to deal with, you know, I got a lot of patrol star stuff, though. Look at this. Medals of Valor, patrol stars, wounded medals. Try to spread them out throughout my various compartments. My goodness. There's almost nobody to give patrol stars to, even. Nobody else is eligible. Yeah, well. Oops, wrong one. We're down to wounded medals. Sid, I got 2 patrol stars to give out, and there's nobody, everybody's got them already. This crew is so cracked out, and I have all this renown. I can't buy a newer submarine, a better sub. There's just nothing left but to wrap up the war. Let's save and overwrite in port, so all that stuff I just did, which wasn't much, doesn't get lost. I could go back to Pearl. Yeah, let's go back to Pearl Harbor. All these war patrols. This is the crew management. There's just nothing else to do but go back out to sea. and wrap up the war. Okay, so what's my date of departure? I've got to update stuff for this. I've also got to keep an eye on the time at this point. It's almost time to go get groceries in the pouring rain. Oh, I see you, Gamer Kid, over there on YouTube. YouTube's a good choice. Not so much for this game, but for the especially other stuff that I do, because you'll get pure 4K. And YouTube lets me use unlimited bitrate, whereas I have to kind of back the bitrate up for both Kick, which nobody ever watches, but I stream to it, and Twitch. So anyway, we're departing on November 10. We're getting right down to it, man. This war's almost over. And it says deploy to the South China Sea for the 19th War Patrol. Got it. Borneo. I was just in that area. I wonder if I can go by here safely, or if it's still enemy stuff. I don't need to worry about that, though. I'm coming from Pearl now. So let's depart Pearl Harbor. We'll go to Midway and grab a fresh tank of gas there.
Yes, sir. All stop.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Ahead full.
Yes, sir.
Signal contact. Bearing 2 long range.
You have to be really careful not to hit some dumb little island like that one. Turn off the radar, because that's just going to cancel my time compression if it'll let me click it. Yeah. Hope I don't run into a friendly ship, because I'm not watching. Just letting it follow my plotted course. Ooh, new anchorages, look!
Closing. Bearing 3.
Guam and Saipan. Too bad I can't make those my home base. Look how close they are. Man. Anyway. Slow down the time compression since we're close here. Yes, I'm sure there's stuff out there. I don't care.
Signal contact. Bearing 350.
Be a friendly warship for certain.
Modules damaged, sir. Net gun damaged, sir.
I just rammed a ship. While I'm trying to stop, it's stuck on this BS screen.
Net gun ready, sir.
That just so pisses me off. Am I leaking and have damage all over? No. It just so happens this ship right here that's behind to my right, let's go see what it was. Hang on. This thing just happened to be barely in my way. And look at, he's on fire from me having hit him. It's this stupid ass freaking game. It shouldn't bring up a modal dialogue box and make it so you can't control your submarine and it just keeps flying ass on its course. I'm just telling you, it's an old game. You know they're never going to fix that, right? I mean, this thing's 17 years old, out of development. And why won't it let me plot a course? Hello? I don't know. Now it's going to let me plot course points again. For some reason, it was disabled, and now it's enabled again. So we'll go with that. We'll go here to Saipan. I don't know which side. Do I have to go by over here by the actual port, or will it let me refit out here? I'm going to experiment with that. Let's try that. I'll go to speed 4. I wonder if I can make it out there at full speed. Is my radar on? No, it's just seeing airplanes. Just spamming the time compression. Yeah, literally if they made like a cool new graphical version of this game in modern times and just tweak some of these little things, you know, some just quality of life improvements, this would be a blockbuster game again. People would love it. Yeah, I've made it halfway there, and I've only burnt a quarter of a tank at full speed. This is a great way to save, I think, a lot of time. And starting out down here, this is closer. This is way closer, but I still think it takes longer because of all the stopping and detecting airplanes, and I think it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other in terms of how long it takes, and definitely less frustration. Let's slow down time compression so it doesn't just go all booty spanker on me.
Contact! Warship! Moving away!
Refit.
Bearing 308. Long range.
That's excellent. Gotta zoom in or you might miss some islands. Learned my lesson there the hard way. Okay, from here on out, I could go to Miles Wendy. I'm gonna see if standard speed will get me there and have enough fuel. Yep, lots of ships spotted, I bet I do. Bet there's lots of them. Oh, look how slow it is until you get away from all those friendly ships. It's terrible. Stuff like that they could optimize, you know, on modern hardware. Maybe just change the AI around a little bit so that they're more like the map props instead of being these. Look, can I refit from way out here? The refit button, dock at Saipan, is still there. Wow. You know what I'm looking forward to tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the afternoon? I'm going to stream. Come join me. We're going to be doing X-Defiant. Just kind of an arena shooter. It's very Call of Duty-ish because I think the guy that is in charge of that project is kind of a former Call of Duty developer.
Single contact. Bearing 3-2.
Here comes the aircraft.
Yes, sir.
Let's slow us down to 2 knots. Let's watch battery. The time is 1400. We'll wait till darkness. Let's surface the boat. Go back to standard speed. Actually, I'll go to 2/3 speed from here on out. And let's see if it turned off the battery charging. See, that's fixed. I think what happens is the batteries are damaged, because I took a little damage at one point in that last war patrol. And even though I'd repaired the damage, the batteries are still 99%. What's the depth below keel? I forgot to check it. Oh, plenty. So the batteries are 0.001% damage, so they never take the full charge. And so it stays in recharging mode. What do we got here? Warship medium speed closing. Let's go watch him on radar. See if he's coming my way. It's going to be 2 sub chasers. Let's turn to the south and avoid them. Return to course. Sea state is rough. Maybe that's just what it's like over here in the South China Sea. Maybe it's just a really, really rough ocean. Maybe I'm just really unlucky. A warship, medium speed. Let me speed up to flank and see if I can just get out from in front of him. And then there's another ship over here. What does it say that is? Come on, man. Quit with the BS. The ship moving fast, so that'll be warship. So will that. Okay, we'll ignore them. Let's slow it down to 2/3 speed. I've been at flank all that time.
Yes, sir.
Eating up gas. Or diesel, technically. Engage enemy merchant shipping in the South China Sea. I have new orders. So... let's get out to deeper waters. Honestly, I want to go back here. You know what I haven't seen in a long time are those little fishing boats that are fun to slaughter. Then we're going to go patrol the area of Mariveles and Manila Bay. I think we're going to get some action up there. I have a radar contact bearing 333. It's a warship moving fast. It's about 20 kilometers out, so I will slow it down to 1/3. See if he just goes by and goes on his way. He does. Go back to 2/3. What do we have here? Another warship.
Legal contact. Bearing 3-3.
Akizuki. Okay, Akizuki. Let me slow down to 1/3 speed. Let me see if the range is safe. Easily. I see you, but you don't see me. American radar advantage. Gotta love that. Uh-oh. He suddenly sees me. Well, I'll just reload later. I'm bored of this thing. Diving from the planes, nothing but warships. But the good news is tomorrow I'm going to be playing a new game. And I'll be over on this computer, the good one. And I think... I don't know the details by heart, but I think it's a 2-day server test that they want to do. We might go in there and this thing just implodes. You know, I might not even be able to play it, but I'm going to try. As it turns out, I have a very, very small one. It's they turned the servers on at 1 p.m. for whatever reason. They didn't start them at 9 in the morning or 10 in the morning or some reasonable hour. They're making us wait till way in the afternoon after lunch hour. Lazy asses. So, 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, we're going to go play some X-Defiant, see what that's all about. See if it plays. If it doesn't, I'll shut down and go back to work. As it turns out, I might only be able to really hang out here and play that for about 1 or 2 hours. So my current plan right now is to play X-Defiant. Check it out. It's already installed. That'll be between 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. So if that pans out, we'll see you between 1 and 3. If it doesn't pan out, we'll see you between 1 and 1:15. Who knows? We'll just see what happens when we get in there. They've had a number of open beta tests like this already before, so I don't know why they kind of have to do it now again. They're just being due diligence, right? Where Call of Duty, for example, would go online, the servers would just crash, and when you go from one part of the map to the other. Like if you try to go to Koshai Complex, it just crashes. They're not like Call of Duty. The people over there on that team, they've actually learned from Call of Duty's mistakes. You can definitely see where they're delaying the release of the game to make sure everything is right. And they're performing these open beta tests to make sure that the servers are going to be able to handle the workload that's incoming. And all of these things are good things. If this game doesn't come out for 6 months, 9 months, a year, then so be it. They've already missed the bus. The time for X-Defiant to have been released would have been right when Modern Warfare 3, the dumpster fire of a shit show that game is, especially when it was first released, they would have wiped Call of Duty off the map forever. But they weren't ready, and that's just tough luck. So that leaves us with, a game maker that has a much anticipated game that's being delayed, but it's being delayed because they're doing due diligence, like I said. This isn't going to be a situation where, like that new Duke Nukem, remember how they made like a reimagined Duke Nukem and it was just an absolute flop? And it was delayed and delayed, like for 10 years it was delayed. Finally, they just said to hell with it, we'll release it like it is, and it was just utter crap, completely unplayable crap. And they're looking to not do that with this game. In fact, we kind of already know that this game isn't in that category, because even earlier betas have been pretty freaking solid. And a lot of people, their attitude, if you look on social media, their attitude is just release the game. It's fine. Just release it like it is. And you know what? Honestly, they could do that. That's not terrible advice. We're so used to Call of Duty releasing updates. We're not even talking about Call of Duty as a new game. I mean, updates to an existing game break everything, make it worse than it was before. Every time. And we're used to that. So literally, they could take this game. They could just say, you know what? Here's as far as we are now. Go ahead, play and have fun with whatever it is. For a guy like me that came from broken-ass DMZ, it'll feel like a very complete product. So I'm looking forward to that. I think X-Defiant is going to surprise me a little bit tomorrow. I know other people have already played it. And I'm hoping after they test the servers, they do their server test, do some little tweaking. They probably just need to make infrastructure changes. I don't think this is the type of open beta test that is for the detection of bugs, unmasking of latent or underlying problems. They just literally want to see how their servers are going to run. So I'm super looking forward to tomorrow. Again, it'll be 1 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow. I'll be here streaming. The minute that test server opens up, I'm going to if I'm enjoying the game, I'm going to spend a lot of time with it. And it might be my new DMZ type thing, my new first-person shooter that I play. Because I've roundly rejected Hell Let Loose. Hell Let Loose is too buggy and just too slow. Just too klutzy and clumsy. I want something that gives me some movement, but I don't want Call of Duty level movement. Some of the things, if I find out X-Defiant has plates, if I see that you have to knock a guy and then kill him a second time with even more bullets than it took to knock him the first time, and then if it's plates and if it's rabbits and deer and rats and just stupid shit, Count me out. I don't need a Fortnite clone. I can go play Fortnite if I want all that dumb shit. So for me, it'll be a first experience. I'm kind of looking forward to it just because it's something new to do. Otherwise than that, we're going to go back into this world. Maybe I might be done with Silent Hunter. I'm actually, I'm starting to get bored of it. I'm starting to get sick of these glitches and some of this repetitive nature of it, and I might be ready to move on to the next thing. Looking down my list, the next thing is obviously tomorrow at 1 o'clock, X-Defiant, but in the aftermath of that, it's just a 2-day test. I'm going to have something to do, right, after the weekend. We're probably going to go do the Battlefield Bad Company 2 single-player campaign. Loads of fun. I want to do the Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare from 2007. I'm going to want to do that. I'm going to want to do the single-player campaign, I should say, the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 from 2009. I want to do the campaign there. And then I want to do Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 campaigns. That's actually, those go pretty fast, There's anywhere from 9 to 12 hours on average for most single-player campaigns. For me, that's 2 streams per game. So, you're talking less than 2 weeks. Worth of single-player campaigns. And then after that, if X-Defiant hasn't released, or if it has released and I don't like it, we're going to go stream, believe it or not, World of Warships again. And we'll probably play Hell Let Loose again. Hell Let Loose is good enough. I mean, gotta have something to play, right? I mean, it's the devil, That's it for tonight, folks. Appreciate you guys coming and hanging out. Sorry about the ads. I wish there was something I could do with it other than demonetizing the Twitch channel, which I'm actually this close to doing. That's because the ads are so intrusive. I'd rather people just come and hang out. But, I like having the emotes and, I might look into it. I think I can tone down the ads, too. I think I can all but eliminate them. They kill your ad share when you do that, but it's like, so. There's nights when I'm in here chatting with people like crazy. My gaming streams often turn into just chatting streams, and the next thing you know, oh look, here comes more ads for everybody to have to deal with. I think I've had enough of that, but we'll see. The jury's still out on that. On the other hand, I'll keep it monetized, especially if X-Defiant becomes like DMZ was and I end up with 20, 30 viewers and hopefully make it even grow more from there. But I'm skeptical. I'm really super skeptical. I don't care what the high praises are for the team that's making X-Defiant. The stuff that I've heard is good, but I'm still a skeptical person. And a lot of it is just Activision and Call of Duty are so scummy that right now I'm expecting, even if they're only 5% as scummy as Activision is, even after Microsoft bought it, they're still up to the same song and dance. $100 not even expansions, $100. What do they call these little kits that you can get? I don't even remember the name of this stuff. I've been out of that loop for half a year now. But with the skins, the bundles. Yeah, bundle warfare, that's right. It's coming back to me now. Call of Duty, bundle warfare. Buy this skin for your gun and for your character, $100. That's a bargain at twice the price. It's just really bad. It's really, really bad where they've taken gaming, and especially where they've taken that game. Although it doesn't break my heart. I know a lot of people in the Call of Duty circles are really put out by what Modern Warfare 2 did. I should say Modern Warfare 2 2022, because they're so bereft of ideas, they can't even come up with a name for a game anymore. So they're recycling all the old names. And that's kind of okay when you think about it, because a lot of the players that are buying, rats and cats and bat skins for their characters weren't even born in 2009. So these imbeciles have never even seen the original. For them, it is the first Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2. But never minding all that, they've done such a terrible job with those Call of Duties. It wasn't not a shock to my system because I've never liked Call of Duty. I've never been a Call of Duty guy. I've been a Battlefield guy. I've been an anything but Call of Duty guy because I'm the type of guy that sees through bullshit. And Call of Duty's been nothing but crap from day one. Period. End of conversation. It's been one good Call of Duty ever. And it was called United Offensive. I talked about it on my stream last night. Probably the only good Call of Duty ever made was United Offensive by... why did that timer go off, I wonder? I didn't start it. Whatevs. So, Exatrix created Kingpin Life of Crime, which is an awesome game. Renamed themselves to Grey Matter Studios. Grey Matter made United Offensive, and then Grey Matter became Treyarch, which a lot of people are kind of Treyarch fans. Every 3 years, Treyarch it's their turn to make the Call of Duty, and a lot of people that have been following that franchise have liked it. But Call of Duties have been so terrible. Every single one of them, Call of Duty 2, ... that I don't get it. And Battlefield was really the only thing that was kind of left over. And there were things I didn't like about Battlefield. It wasn't like, holy cow, Battlefield is all love licks and lollipops. It's not. Battlefield has a lot of stuff about it that sucks. The latest Battlefield was probably just, I don't even know how they dare to put the name Battlefield on it. And they got a new one coming out. I don't think it's this year. I think it's next year. But in any case, the next Battlefield to come out, it either better be something or they better just shelve the Battlefield name and just forget about it forever. The next Battlefield is going to determine if that franchise lives or dies. It's their last chance. So gaming altogether is in a really, really super bad place. X-Defiant comes out whenever it comes out, and I'm thinking pretty quickly here, but it's kind of a situation where it's either that or just screw it and I'll just play all these old games. Nobody's coming out with any good new games is really what it comes down to. So tomorrow, going to be a big stream. Going to be a big deal, but a short stream just because I'm pinched for time tomorrow. And it really, really sucks that they didn't launch this thing in the morning, because in the morning I would actually have more time than in the afternoon and the evening. But I'm going to squeeze it in between 1 o'clock when they start, open up the servers. I've already pre-downloaded it, again, like I said. So I'm going to be here for a couple hours at 1 o'clock, maybe 3 o'clock. I've got to take off. I have an appointment. And then I'll be back, Sunday or Saturday afternoon, maybe. I'm not sure how long this thing lasts. If it's still going Saturday, I'm sure it is. I think it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I believe. I could go look. In fact, let me go look at that right now. I'm curious. I want to plan it out for myself anyways. I've just been so busy that I just sat down and started streaming. Didn't have any of this kind of, thought out. I just go from thing to thing to thing. Every day is bang, bang, bang. X-Defiant on Ubisoft. And their website's going really slow. Probably they're getting hammered. I'll tell you what, it's going to be amazing what they find out. I think they're underestimating how much support they're going to have for this game. So I'm just kind of looking at their website here. News and updates. Patch notes, blah, blah, blah. Look at the factions. It looks kind of Call of Duty-ish. It looks kind of Fortnite-y, except there's not animals. Okay, good night, Gamer Kid. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you. We'll see you tomorrow. Let me read more on the server test session. This will probably tell the dates. There's some patch notes. 19th, 20th, and 21st. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I know it starts at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Friday. And there's a whole bunch of patch notes. I'm not going to read through those. There's a YouTuber out there that I follow. He goes through all that, and I usually just watch his video. I don't know that I'm going to be delving into the content creator thing ever. That just is so time consuming. I'd rather just stick with software development, to be honest. But anyway, that's cool. I'm looking forward to this weekend. I'm probably going to do a lot of streaming this weekend if I like the game. If I go in there and the game is like, you know what, this is like, this is too much like Call of Duty for me, then I'm out of there. And I'll never come back. You know, but it's okay. It's just not every first-person shooter is my flavor. You know, I want something more modern warfare. I want something where it's recognizable guns that don't have weird oddball names. I just want a straightforward modern warfare shooter of AAA quality. And I don't think we're ever going to get one again. I think they're all done with that. And that's quite unfortunate. So yeah, tomorrow, 1 o'clock, folks. We'll see you then. Have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye.